Hello and welcome. My name is Mary Grace Fahrun, also known as Rue of Rue's Kitchen, and in this video I'm going to do I guess it's a flip through or a walk through, clumsy as usual, hopefully charming, of the Wisdom Keeper's Oracle. So this is the box that it comes in, and there are 64 cards, and they're all faces. And this is a non-tarot deck. It's an oracle deck. It is the author of this deck is Rosy, Aronson, PhD. This is the guidebook that comes with the cards. I know there's a separate guidebook that is larger. The research that I did before obtaining this deck, I found out two things. One is that the original version was in black and white, and two, that the guidebook, from what people are saying in their reviews, the larger guidebook contains the same information as the book that comes with the deck. I can't confirm that because I only have the guidebook that came with the oracle deck. If you live in Canada, it's a little difficult to get this oracle deck. Thankfully, I have a dear friend, Sorella, in the United States, who ordered it off Amazon and then shipped it to me, because Amazon.com won't ship it to, well, it doesn't ship to my city. Maybe it ships to your city in Canada. It's worth a try. Rosy Aronson also has a website that you can, I will link below. I'm guessing you can order the deck directly from her website. I did not confirm before recording this video, so I'm not sure. Yeah, and I think in the UK it's widely available, and in Australia. Again, not sure. I didn't confirm. I just sat in front of here and started talking. Hi. All right. So if you're not familiar with shadow work it's the term used to describe inner work. That is where you're facing the shadow aspects of your personality, where you go in, you go within and you work out what you find challenging emotions, challenging thoughts, challenging preconceived ideas. What I mean by challenging is that these items that I just listed affect your life potentially in a negative way. They are limiting. These are limiting aspects of yourself, aspects in which you struggle with. It's shadow work is the deep dive into your inner self and working shit out, so to speak. This is a 64 card deck. It's all faces. This is not an oracle deck that I use to ask questions such as, is this the right career move for me, or what have you. This is for a quiet contemplation. It's also not a deck that I would use to read for other people, because I wouldn't even know how to go about doing that. They'd pick a card and then they'd have to read the insights or what the wisdom keeper has to teach for themselves in the book, right? So this is really for self-reflection and for personal work. If tarot or oracle is not part of your spiritual practice, this is not solely spiritual. This is also this is mainly psychological, but it does touch upon the soul. So let's begin. The back of the cards, because I'm always interested in the back of the cards. As a matter of fact, I'm almost ashamed to admit that there have been cases where the back of the cards has been a deal breaker for me. These are beautiful. I love them. So each card is a face with a keyword. Look at the intricacy. So now that I've shown you the first card, I'm going to read a little bit from the guidebook, just as on the back. The Wisdom Keeper's Inner Guidebook. Well, let me show you. The Wisdom Keeper's Inner Guidebook welcomes you into the gaze of the 64 faces of awakening, each here to recognize your worth, reflect your beauty, and love you unconditionally. The Wisdom Keepers share their teachings through intimate stories, contemplative questions, and practical suggestions for how to access your wisdom, open to your gifts, and fulfill your potential. Rosy Aronson, PhD, is an inspirational artist, author, and counselor. Her deepest intention is to provide empowering tools for people to awaken to their gifts and bloom into their authentic selves. So we'll do a flip through. This is just an amazing, amazing tool. Absolutely. If you can see, not only you have the Wisdom Keepers, and you'll find faces you recognize from popular culture, from history. There's just some faces that they're archetypes, and some may look exactly like that figure from popular culture or history. They may look like someone you know in real life. It's just very striking. And then if you see I don't know if you could see the detail on the faces, aside from the eyes, which are very expressive. I'm not sure. I don't think I got to see a full flip through of the black and white version. I think I've seen pictures of it online. And again, this was highly sought after by me. I desperately wanted this deck. And I'm so blessed to have someone who loves me, who, ordered it from Amazon.com and then shipped it to me on my behalf. See, like this Wisdom Keeper right here, I know someone who looks like this face structure, right? I'm just checking to see if I'm avoiding the glare, because that's a problem here with Cinema Verité and the using natural light. The guidebook is essential with this. Yes, you could potentially look at these cards and look at the keyword, but no, the guidebook is invaluable. It's a whole other experience with this deck. This face. I love all the faces in this deck. Look at the intricate, oh my gosh, look at that. Look at the detail. So beautiful. In this face, I see Einstein. And yeah, invention. I guess you could tell from the glare that these are glossy, if that matters to you. And the cards are quite sturdy. Not that they need to be, because, well, it's not like you're gonna, not like I'm gonna, they're massive. I'm not gonna riffle shuffle them. Here we have Robin Williams. That's unmistakably Robin Williams. And their eyes, the detail in the art of their eyes. They really peer into your soul, and they're a card, right? And the symbols in each card, on each face, they all have meaning. The symbols have meaning. But they're all, you could see the kindness. The cards, the artist really conveys kindness and, really a deep gaze in the art. I don't know if I would have been just as excited about the original black and white edition, but I do know I love, love, love these. I will never get rid of these. So this to me looks like a young John Lennon. And I think he shows up twice in this deck. I'm not going to bore you with every face that I recognize or whatever, because that ruins it for you. I want you to have the experience that I had, where you recognize people you know, either again from history or pop culture or in real life. The detail is just staggering. And the color, oh my god, the color. This is the image on the box. So I figured I'd do a complete flip through. It's like a late unboxing. If I had already started making YouTube videos in January or December, I would have, done an unboxing when I received it. But I really appreciate complete flip throughs of, I'm not one of those people that likes to be surprised when it comes to, investing in oracle or tarot decks. I need to see every image before making a decision, including the backs, like I said. And there's a 65th card, which I've never used really, but it's a mirror. How's that for meta? Anyway, so I'll read just a little. I'll just give you the description of the cards from the guidebook. First of all, there's a wonderful quote by Carl Jung, which is, well, one of my favorite quotes. To confront the person with his shadow is to show him his own light. And then, with each wisdom keeper, so let's pick one here. Oh, here's one. So here we go. There we go. With each wisdom keeper, you will find a number. Each wisdom keeper is associated with one of the 64 archetypes, which can be related to the 64 hexagrams of the I Ching and some of its descendants, including the 64 gene keys. 3 words: gift, shadow, and city. As described earlier in the book. Sorry about that. And a programming partner. Just as each gene key has a programming partner, each wisdom keeper has a companion or soul friend. Together they reflect a paradox as well as a totality. I encourage you to intuitively explore the partnerships and allow them to inspire you. Richard Rudd expands on gift, shadow, city, and programming partner in his book, The Gene Keys, which I do not have. Symbols. Each face has been intentionally infused with universal yet specific symbols reflecting the unique gifts embodied by the Wisdom Keeper. Ooh, scusi. A wisdom story. Each Wisdom Keeper shares an archetypal yet deeply personal story. You will notice that none of the Wisdom Keepers have arrived at the place they are today without experiencing their own form of suffering, without embracing a shadow. A gift for you. Each Wisdom Keeper brings you a gift of wisdom and guidance. The gift is offered through words that come straight from the heart, and then questions for contemplation. Contemplation is one of the most gentle yet powerful ways to catalyze a deep transformation in your life. Simple yet poignant questions are offered to help you connect with the Wisdom Keepers and their stories, and to integrate their guidance into your own life through practical action steps. So I had picked number 39, Dynamism. At random. So I'm going to look up number, which I promptly forgot once I put the card down, 39, Dynamism. So I'll show you what it looks like in the book. So here we are. So you have the little thumbnail of the card, and then you have the write-up. If you do what you truly love, you will unleash your creative dynamism, and the more creative you are, the more energy becomes available to you. Gift, dynamism. Shadow, provocation. Siddhi, liberation. Programming partner, number 38. So let's look at number 38. And number 38 is perseverance. My wisdom story. So I'll read from this, just to give you a taste of this deck, to see if maybe this is your thing. All right. Everyone called my father a saint. At church, he was a dynamic and passionate preacher. At home, he was strict, mean, and provocative. We weren't allowed to play like the other kids. We had to study scripture and help around the church. If we misbehaved or acted childishly, he threatened us with fiery damnation. He knew just what to say to instill the fear of God in us, and just how to say it. While my siblings nodded yes, sir, disappearing into passivity, frozenness, and fatigue, I felt trapped and got angry. I had a mouth on me too, and constantly called out his hypocrisy. Once I yelled, "You're no saint. Having you as a father is hell." My words got him so mad he struck me with a belt. Afterwards, instead of apologizing, he said he only wanted to keep me out of trouble and from being damned. But I didn't buy his excuses. When I left home, I promised I'd never be anything like him. As I became a man, I used the sharpness of my tongue to criticize his religion, to defend my choices, the way I lived and loved. For years, though, we never saw each other. I was wrapped up in a massive power struggle with my father. Then came the call. My father was dying. It was time to say my goodbyes. I walked into his bedroom, and there he was, so small and helpless, and not at all the man I'd been so busy fighting. Unable to speak, he looked up at me and smiled. For the first time in my life, I saw the child in him, and that was never allowed to play. I saw his love, his sorrow for how he treated me, his desire to keep me safe from the pain he'd experienced. Oh my God, okay. I was overcome with love for the man. For the next miraculous 39 days, I never left his side. I read stories to him, played games with him, and sang songs to him, and we laughed. When I sang his favorite gospel song, one I hardly knew, I remembered, he drifted off peacefully to sleep. The day my father died was the day I welcomed back the fire of creativity and passion into my soul. I'm sorry. Today I am a preacher with the blessed job of instilling in people not the fear of God, the love of God. In my church, all are welcome. Heaven is experienced right here on earth. My Father's Spirit speaks straight out from my heart, and together our words set people free. My gift to you. I come to tell you that it doesn't matter how bad your upbringing was, All unhealthy conditioning can be reversed. You can contribute to the field of violence in our world by provoking others or allowing yourself to be provoked. Or you can explore your passions and unleash your dynamism, your genius, by simply letting yourself be and play. Remember, genius isn't unusual. It has nothing to do with knowledge or with the mind. It arises the moment you allow yourself to do what you love. It is time for you to allow your horizons and breath to expand. If you provoke anything in the people around you, may it be their creative spark and a deep sense of liberation. Questions for contemplation. Where do you feel trapped or imprisoned by fear in your life? When you were a young child, were you allowed to enjoy and express your dynamism and vitality, or taught to subdue it? Does your anger ever get the better of you? Do people sometimes feel provoked by you and you don't always understand why? When was the last time you tasted true liberation? Think of something that you loved to do or play when you were a child, 7 and under. Spend some time engaging in that activity today. Notice how it feels. So I'd like to tell you that that was random for me, but it wasn't. And if you're watching this video, it may touch you as well. So this was the card, Dynamism. And this was the Wisdom Keeper's Oracle Deck and Inner Guidebook by Rosy, Aronson, PhD. Thank you for tuning in, and have a beautiful day.